Coming up for Mountain News this morning, a man who is accused of shooting someone, causing a school lockdown, and a manhunt made his first appearance in court yesterday. And soon, a Floyd County town could be opening up ATV trails to help boost tourism in the area.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Madison Carmouche. It is 6:29 on March 21st, 2024. Let's check in with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge for a look at your forecast this morning.
Hard to believe, Madison, we're getting into the last third of March. But hey, it's officially spring. Now, Mother Nature could provide some additional spring weather, right? Well, outside our door, it's at 32 and mostly clear. Some of us have dropped into the upper 20s, but keep in mind as the cold air settles into the region, getting to 62 for a high yesterday, which is about average for this time of the year. We're going to be about 7 to 8 degrees colder, especially from Hazard and Jackson Points north heading through the afternoon. We increase our rain chances as we head through tomorrow, and we could use some rain considering the elevated fire risk that we had just over the last couple of days. Upper 20s, Moorhead, back toward Irvine, 29 Ashland. It's 31 at Manchester, 32 at Clintwood. Mid-30s now, Jonesville to Middlesboro, 41 at Jacksboro. All right, the boundary is positioned to our south. Small bubble of high pressure comes in to provide the sunshine today. So we'll call it partly cloudy, and a forecast high this afternoon will get up to 55. All right, how do the temps fluctuate as we head into and through Palm Sunday weekend? We'll let you know. Your first alert 7-day forecast is coming up in just a few moments. Madison?
Tim, thank you. A man charged after a shooting that led to a manhunt and several schools going on lockdown appeared virtually in court. Pedro Tereses was charged with assault after the incident. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox tells us what new information we learned yesterday.
Kentucky State Police Detective Ethan Crouch testified in court with new information about the March 8th shooting involving Pedro Tereses. Crouch said the shooting happened early that day after an argument about a side-by-side.
Through speaking with the witnesses and the victim himself, they advised that Pedro Tereses came to the residence early that morning.
He said one man identified as Roger Pelfrey was shot twice. Crouch said they located Tereses mid-afternoon and arrested him later that night with no further incident.
After a time, our special response team got on scene and they were able to take Mr. Tereses into custody.
Tereses was taken to the Three Forks Regional Jail. His bond is currently set at $5 million, which Tereses' attorney argues should be lowered. Judge Gary Salyers said previous incidents and the timeline led to that amount.
Until he was apprehended, and the fact that he may or may not have an out-of-state record, all those reasons is why I set the bond so high.
Salyers said he will take the bond under advisement. The Wolfe County grand jury reportedly has 60 days to return an indictment. In Campton, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
Police said Roger Pelfrey, who was shot twice in the incident, is recovering from his injuries. A man is dead after a pickup truck fell on him in Knox County. The Richland Fire Department says they were called to a home on Valentine's Branch Tuesday night. The Knox County coroner says a 50-year-old man was working underneath a pickup when it fell off the jack and landed on him. He died at the scene. The man's name has not been released. A former Laurel County teacher was indicted on sexual abuse charges Friday. 31-year-old William Trevor Goodson is facing multiple charges related to a reported inappropriate relationship with a minor. According to the Laurel County School District, Goodson was a teacher and worked in the district's athletics department. According to CourtNet, Goodson was indicted on several charges, including unlawful transaction with a minor and rape. A Laurel County man is behind bars after police say he tried to get away from them. 35-year-old Jonathan Coots was arrested on Tuesday. It happened after police tried to perform a traffic stop on a motorcycle that had no registration plates on it. Coots drove off and went into a wooded area before ditching the motorcycle and taking off on foot. He was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. A parent's worst nightmare often involves a gun on their child's campus. This month, a student snuck one into Lafayette High School that officials were not aware of for 2 days. Now, an employee tells us school leaders want teachers to help security check for weapons. We're also hearing ways students may be getting around those rules. Our sister station WKYT was able to talk to a Lafayette High School teacher who asked us to change their voice for anonymity.
There are guns coming in there are guns in this building every single day, guns and knives, and what they do is they put them in their groin, and then if the metal detector goes off and they get wanded, then they pull their phone out of their pocket and show the phone and say, oh, it's my phone, setting off the metal detector.
The district said in this month's incident, a security staff member failed to properly check the student. That staff member no longer works for FCPS. We continue to follow a case out of Wayne County where one man died after shooting while a Wayne County deputy was also injured. Police have not released the identities of those involved in the case. The shooting happened at a home on Carter's Dock Road. The Wayne County coroner says a man died following a standoff situation. Investigators say the deputy was serving papers when he was shot, and a vest likely saved his life. The possibility of being shot is a danger law enforcement officers face every day. FBI crime data shows that in February of 2024, 7 officers were feloniously killed. Firearms were used in 5 of those 7 incidents. In 2023, a national FOP report shows 8 officers were shot in Kentucky. That number is down from 16 officers shot in 2022. So far this year, 3 officers have been shot in the line of duty. The first day of the boys' Sweet 16 is in the books. Many in eastern Kentucky had their eyes on the all-mountain matchup between Perry Central and Magoffin County to kick things off. Alyssa Williams was there for all the excitement.
It's a day that will go down in history for the Magoffin County Hornets.
It's been absolutely the best experience we could have ever hoped for. We have never been to the state tournament before.
Gina Salmons is the mother of a Magoffin County basketball player. She says she's gotten a front row view to see how hard these boys have worked to get to this year's Sweet 16 tournament.
I have seen them grow up so much. The maturity they've shown this season has been amazing. The way the community has come together to support them in every possible way, it's just been incredible.
Salmon says of the hundreds of Magoffin Countyans in attendance, many alumni have dusted off their old Letterman jackets to take part in the festivities, including Lowell Arnett.
You know, this was every kid's dream, at least playing basketball growing up was the pinnacle was get to Rupp Arena and play in the state tournament. So it's we're all living through those guys.
Magoffin County fans say with 2 mountain teams making it this far, it was going to be exciting regardless of who won Wednesday's game. But they add securing that win and advancing in the tournament doesn't hurt either.
I know there's about 10 teams here that haven't been to the Sweet 16 before, and it's an honor to be one of those teams. And I think it's just going to bring so much publicity to our county. A lot of people haven't heard of Magoffin County. They have no idea where it is. So I think this is a way to get our name out there and get our program noticed.
Magoffin County will be playing Great Crossing on Friday at 11 a.m. 2 great stories will collide. Magoffin County waited 100 years for this moment. Great Crossing climbed the ladder in just 3 years as a school. As the NCAA tournament is about to get underway, many of us are familiar with our favorite teams and players. But what about the support staff? Many times, team managers are the unsung heroes of the game. Moorhead State team manager Tad Johnson is tasked with a lot of duties, like keeping up with uniforms and equipment. Coach Spradlin gave Johnson the chance to live out a dream. But one day at the OVC tournament, he tried leaving the arena only to realize he was locked inside of it.
So I went walking around, try every door, and the doors was locked. And so there was only one exit.
Even after he got outside, Johnson still needed a little assistance. He called in his fellow managers to help him over a fence. Once free, Coach Spradlin used his story of never giving up as motivation going into the OVC finals. The moment went viral, and Johnson has taken it in stride. Kentucky has 2 more teams on the road to the Final Four in the men's NCAA tournament. That's Kentucky and Western Kentucky University. Kentucky had an open practice at PPG Paints Arena yesterday, home of the Pittsburgh Penguins hockey team. The 3-seeded Cats would like to skate through the South Region bracket, but that is easier said than done. Kentucky will take on the Golden Grizzlies of Oakland tonight. A good number of fans were in the arena to watch them practice yesterday. The Wheelwright City Council heard plans last night to boost tourism in the city. Commissioner Michael Tackett says his town has been moving backward for years, and he wants to make a change for future generations by creating a fairground on a nearby vacant clearing. He says the prison coming to town has brought with it revenue that could be used to start the first phases of a potential ATV trail, starting with a site for camping and hosting events.
Everything's moving away from us, and we're all right. We just keep going after the coal boom and inland steel pulled out. We just keep going down, and we really need to develop something of our own.
Tackett also hopes to begin applying for grants for the project if the council creates the project fund.
And a good Friday Eve to you. Temperature-wise, we go from the upper 20s close to 30 versus the upper 30s closer to 40 as you make your way from Jonesville, Harlan over to Jacksboro. Small bubble of high pressure building in behind the boundary, positioned to our south. That means we get into the sunshine as we head through the day for your Thursday. And the drive this morning, bright, maybe some clouds, especially as you make your way south of Hazard. And then as we head for the afternoon, kind of the same deal. Probably better opportunity for some cloud cover issues. But again, calling it partly cloudy. And a forecast high today in Hazard, 55. It's about 7-8 degrees cooler than yesterday. But hey, we've got the sunshine. You know what? We do need some rain. We got some on the way, that is. We'll give you your hour-by-hour forecasts coming up as your WYMT Mountain Morning News continues after this break.